All right, welcome. This is ECAV Radio. You are listening to us on ecavradio.com. This is a brand new show on ecavradio.com, broadcasting every Friday. It's called Kellen Coach. We are joined by women's basketball coach Ben Conrad here in studio. Him and his assistants will be coming through every Friday, giving you the lowdown on their team, keeping you up to date with their season. They are currently ranked number 2 in the nation. They have moved up from preseason polls at number 4. Coach Conrad, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, let's get right into it. Your team, 6-0. Success again, second year in a row, non-conference success, great group of girls. How do you prepare them so well, so fast?
We just, every team, we kind of do it the same way. We really, we approach October with a lot of urgency. We spend a whole lot of time in the preseason putting our stuff in, putting our system in offensively. And then in October, we really grind it out. We spend a lot of time defending and rebounding, teaching our principles. And I think right now what you're seeing is a group of kids that's starting to figure out the value of guarding. And, I think we're holding teams to maybe 36, 37 points a game, which there can't be a lot better than that really anywhere nationwide. And if you can hold teams in the high 30s, low 40s, you're going to win a lot of games. So I think our preparation early in the season is really about getting right defensively with our group, and right now that's kind of what's happening with our team.
I noticed that defense seems to be what gets you guys going. Multiple steals a game. I think you guys are at 5 steals a game. Mm-hmm. That's turnovers, blocks. You guys are really putting pressure on other teams. And it seems like defense is more of a team aspect first, and then it seems like on offense someone else is doing something every game. You don't have that star player. Is that what you really try to hone in on, that team aspect?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think defensively, not only when we get steals, I think probably the biggest thing though is what we talk about is getting clean stops, and that's contesting shots, blocking out, and then grabbing that clean rebound, and then getting it out and going. Our defense leads to fast break points. Our defense leads to putting pressure on opponents' transition defense. And all our offense kind of gets generated from getting stops. And yeah, it is a team approach. The way we guard, we don't turn people over a whole lot. We stay in position. We kind of accept the fact that you're probably gonna get a shot up against us, but we want to make sure we're there to contest it. We want to make sure all of our kids are blocking out, and then we get that clean stop. We rebound it, we get it out and go, and it feeds offense. So we're not having to set up and grind out a half-court possession every single time for 40 minutes. You mentioned offense. Yeah, you're right. We've got. I wouldn't say we don't have any stars. I would say we've got a bunch of them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I think this is a very deep team. It's a good group of kids as far as just we got a lot of different kids that can score and in a lot of different ways. We got some kids that can score around the basket. We got some kids that can score it from behind the arc. We got some kids that can get their shot at the mid-range and shoot it. So it's an exciting team. But again, yeah, we hang our hat on defending, rebounding, and trying to get right on that end of the floor, because that kind of leads to other opportunities on the other end.
That's what's so impressive right now is that, to me, you guys are so good defensively from what I've seen, and it's without pressing people. No full court press. You don't have to rely on a half court press to put teams kind of in a box and slow them down. You guys get back, play your defense, don't allow second chance points, no offensive rebounds for the other teams. It's clean rebound, go down, set up your offense, and really get going. And like you said, offensively, your team, everyone is kind of a star, but they're unselfish. They lack that star kind of attitude that you see a lot, especially nowadays with athletes. And that star, the fact that you could get them to build into a team dynamic so fast is what's great. I have a couple stats here. A player I really want you to talk about for a second, someone who stands out to me, is Amy Briggs. Yeah. It seems like good scorer, leading assist on the team. She facilitates the offense. Is that where you get the leadership from this year? Because that was my biggest concern. I did a show about you guys, and it's talent is there, effort is there. In close games, will the leadership be there? Is she one of the players that provides that leadership?
Yeah, she really is. And here's the thing. This is a unique junior college team in the fact that we have 7 kids that have played college basketball before. 5 of mine from last year that all were big contributors on that 32-win team, and then Brianna Kulas played at Kansas State last year, and Polly Harrington played at Louisville last year. So we've got a very mature, and I've been talking about this a lot this fall with people. It's a pretty mature team. It's an experienced team, and there is a lot of leadership. But you're right, Amy is she's one of those kids that she's very smart. She's got a tremendous basketball IQ. She can really shoot it. And yeah, in close games, you need that leadership, and offensively, you need an identity. And Amy is a kid; we know what she can do. She can really shoot it, and she makes great decisions, and she knows what she can and can't do on the floor. And one of the things she definitely can do is she can make shots. And so, Amy's been fantastic. She shot it extremely well. And again, all these kids that are back just had amazing summers. I mean, they were here; they were all here. They were all in the weight room. They were all in the gym. They were all playing, and I think you're seeing a lot of those dividends kind of paying off right now.
Yeah, I don't see too much rust on the team right now. Yeah. Like we kind of talked about before we got on camera, is that your team's still not at 100%. There's still some injury. You guys are still trying to get healthy, but yet you have 5 players over 8 points per game. You have 4 players over, I think it was 7 rebounds per game. Yeah. The team is so deep. How do you fit all these pieces in during the course of the game and maintain that rhythm?
Well, it is a puzzle. I don't think there's a question. I think every year is a different puzzle. Every year, it's a puzzle with about 12 pieces that you're moving around, and sometimes when you move one here, it affects this one. It's kind of maybe more like a Rubik's Cube, to be honest with you. You move one piece, the other one kind of gets out of place. So it is a juggling game early on. But again, when you have experience and you've got a lot of kids back, it's easier to juggle it. It's easier to get that chemistry, that cohesion. This is a very cohesive group for this time of year. And again, it's back to just having a lot of returners, a lot of kids that have played together, played college basketball. Talked about the injuries. Yeah, we're I think we're solid right now, and we're in a good position. We're about where we need to be. But I don't think we're even close to our ceiling. When I talk about our ceiling, I'm talking about how good we could become by March. Juanita Robinson is a freshman that has a meniscus injury. She's going to get surgery Monday. Probably just going to scope it out, which means she's going to be ready to go in about 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah. She's, to be honest with you, she's probably our most talented kid. She was a special high school kid out of the Chicago area. Going to be recruited by, I think most of the highest level Division I's all over the country here in a couple years. She's really good, and she hasn't even played yet. Brianna Kulas is still fighting an ankle injury. She's not even close to 100%. We're just nicked up a little bit. Tanshell Hollingsworth and Amisha Carney both have little shoulder strains. Polly Harrington's got a deal going on with her rotator cuff. So it's a beat-up team. It's the most beat-up team we've had. We've gone 2 years without really having an injury, and that doesn't happen very often. So I kind of coming into the year was wondering.
It's about that time.
Yeah, we probably were due. Yeah, we were probably due to have a few, but we're surviving. Again, as we get our team healthy and we just continue to improve every day, this is going to be a pretty good team late, I think.
And like I said, it seems, especially past 2 seasons, like non-conference success has really become a trend, something that you can kind of prepare your team so well, more than other teams, that you don't have that rust. You come in, you start off well. Last year, only 1 non-conference loss for this team. Where do you want to be this season heading into conference play? Because, like you said, only 5 losses last year, but 4 were in conference play. You guys are going to get healthier. How do you carry the same momentum into conference play and have an even better season than last year?
Well, when you talk about the non-conference scheduling, there's a couple things you got to look at. You got to look at your team, who you're going to have back, what kind of experience, look at the talent. Yep. And I think at every level, we're all trying to schedule in a way that we're going to get better, we're going to get pushed, we're going to get in a grinder in a tough spot. But you also want to make sure you're getting some confidence and you're winning some games.
Exactly.
So scheduling is kind of an art. You go all the way from KU all the way down to NAI, junior college, whatever. We've all got a schedule. That's part of our job. And this year's team, this was a schedule that I put together with the idea that there was 4 or 5 games before Christmas we potentially could get beat.
Yeah.
You talk about playing Cloud, who won the West last year, got to the national tournament over on that side of the conference, played them at the KCK tournament. Penn Valley, I think, won 20 games a year ago. We're going to play Hutch. We're going to play Dodge. We've played Moberly, who's a perennial powerhouse. So when you look at our schedule on paper, this is a very, very challenging non-conference schedule that we're surviving so far. We've been very lucky to survive, but I know this is a schedule that's going to push us. And I kind of scheduled this way on purpose because I wanted to get in a few dogfights early in the year in the hopes that maybe it would help us in January when we get in a couple dogfights, because I felt like last year we went to Cali in January and I didn't feel like we really had a good scrap first semester, and I thought we didn't finish that game at Cali last year, and I thought part of that was we didn't have enough tough tests first semester.
I noticed that, and the tests have been tough for a team preseason 4th overall in the nation. You guys started off only 2 home games, 2 neutral sites, and 2 away games. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you guys were shying away from anything. It's like we want to play good competition. We don't even care about playing at home. We'll go wherever and play you guys.
Yep.
And right now your defense is just really – and that's what really steps up against in big games. Defense, it's heart.
Yep.
It's emotion. It's the stuff that's not on the stat sheet.
Yep.
And that's what you guys have been winning with, which is so impressive. We'll talk about your last game, most recent game, Brown Mackie, just the other day. Second lowest scoring output so far this season. It's the closest game you guys have had this season. What was so difficult about that team and just the matchup as far as how your team matched up?
Yeah, well, number one, they have good players. That's the number one thing. Brown Mackie, they have a kid on their team that might be the best player in the entire Midwest junior college-wise. I mean, she is special. I think she scored 20 points a game last year as a freshman, was an All-American. So it starts with their players. Brown Mackie's, I think, rated number 9 or 10 in the country for a reason. I think they won 22, 23 games last year. Brought everybody back. They added a couple pieces. So, and the other thing is there's a lot of familiarity. So you're talking about 2 teams that really know each other, really know what each other's doing. And anytime you get that, it's going to usually be a pretty good dogfight. And then on the road, okay, we got a bunch of kids. We've got kids that their longest road trip when they were in high school was maybe 20 minutes down the road.
That happens a lot more now.
We're getting a bus 3-hour drive. They're getting off the bus and expected to play. That's something kids have got to get used to. So that's why it was tough. And, Brown Mackie's good. There's no question they're good. I was very proud. I thought it was a tremendous win for us to hold them, I think, to 46 points, 29% shooting, and just tough it out. I thought we just grinded it out and got a good road win. Close. What did we beat them by? I don't even know what was the score.
Oh, the final score is 63-46. Yep.
Yeah, so we won by 17, and it did feel a little closer than that. But I think the bar is set pretty high right now. I think when we beat somebody by 15, I get people asking me, what happened there? Like 15-point wins.
15 points pretty good.
I mean? But that's fine. I mean, that means we've set the bar pretty high, and there's high expectations, that's what we want. But it was a great win going over to Salina and getting that win.
As far as in conference last year, kind of looking ahead a little bit this year, we'll look to the past. In conference last year, 14-4. That was good enough for a third-place record, regular season in conference. You guys went on, kind of handled business after that. Mm-hmm. It showed. But this year, as far as in conference, what are your goals for regular season in conference? You guys, like you said, your ceiling is so high. People expect so much. And even those 5 wins from last year will get critiqued. Yeah. And you always want to be better than last year. Yeah. What is your definition of being better than last year?
That's a really good question. For me, when you start talking about conference games, we want to play our best basketball as we get to the end of January and get into February. I never set goals as far as I want to win this many games.
Yeah.
I don't set any goals outwardly of, hey, I want to win the conference. Our goals in our program are more about the process. Our goals are about just daily improvement, doing things the right way, doing our film work, our classroom work, studying our opponents the right way, attention to detail, and giving great effort. And if we meet those goals, we're probably going to win our fair share of games. Now, that being said, I will tell you, I'd love to win the Jayhawk. I think to me that's the ultimate, that's the crown jewel if you can win the Jayhawk, the regular season title, you did something special over the long haul. Honestly, a national title would be great, and it'd obviously be something nobody could take away from us. But I'll be real honest with you. Winning the Jayhawk regular season conference would be more of an accomplishment.
Oh, definitely.
More than just getting hot.
You can catch fire. Yeah, exactly. In the tournament, conference tournament, national championship, you catch fire, and the healthier team a lot of the times also, it makes a difference. I mean, but during the long haul and preparing your team, it shows something. It shows
the league races. I mean, if you can win the regular season Jayhawk Conference Championship or have a chance, you've had a good year. And for me, the definition of a good year is kids learning how to do things the right way, kids seeing the progress they make from doing it the right way, and the wins are going to take care of themselves. So generally, people talk about our goals and what we want to accomplish. That's what I want. I want the kids to have fun. I want them to see and understand the value of working hard, see and understand the value of doing things the right way. And the wins, like I said, the wins will take care of themselves. But for me, the definition of a good year is we enjoy being around each other. We enjoy the process. We enjoy the journey. I know that sounds a little corny, but it's true.
Yeah, it is.
We want to enjoy the journey, and at the end, we'll look back after the end of the year at the wins and feel good about it. But during it, it's just about the daily grind.
I think everyone can see that, just the caliber of athletes that come here, the caliber of women on the team now. I mean, when they come from big colleges and kind of, it's not looked as a step down or anything. They want to play basketball here.
Yeah.
Your program kind of speaks for itself. And it's that atmosphere that you create. Doing it the right way, it's so hard sometimes to come in, put your foot down and say, no, we're going to do it this way.
Yeah.
This is the way to go. But you're going to be like, no, in a couple years you'll see this is the right way, and we're going to build it up. And it seems like you have that going, and the success should just snowball, and it seems great. Let's focus on your next task then. Next game, you have Hesston College, home game, finally again, this Saturday. Once again, how do you get the girls up? Because I know, which is weird about non-conference, it seems like during the conference, Wednesday, Saturday, you get a routine going. This is kind of sporadic, especially with the holidays around, long breaks, short breaks. You have sometimes back-to-back games, like a 3-day span.
Yeah.
In this next game, what are you guys entering the game? What's your focus entering that game?
Well, it's the same no matter what. We're going to have a plan. We're going to have a plan in place for Hesston, how we're going to attack them, how we're going to try to guard them. We're going to prepare for them the same way we do everybody else. And we're going to have a very detailed scouting report on what they do, what their players do. And then, like every day, whether it's a practice or a game or just a film session or whatever, we want to get better. And so whether it's against Hesston or whether it's against Hutch or whoever, we want to get better that day. And so, on Saturday, or today, as we start to prepare for the game, we're going to get better today. And part of getting better, part of our process is preparing for Hesston.
Yeah, that's definitely key. Everyone, make sure you come out. Once again, that game against Hesston, 2 o'clock here on Saturday. Show support for the team. Great squad, now number 2 in the nation. Going forward, non-conference, if you had to pick out 3 games, just 3 going forward between now and conference time, that you really need to see something from your team, that every game is important, but things that you think will test your team, whether it's a specific timing or scheduling that might test your team, or this team is 9th in the nation, or something you want to see your team do. What 3 games really stand out to you on your schedule?
Well, you know what? Honestly, I mean, we've got the remaining games before Christmas break. I think we've got Hesston twice, Brown Mackey again, Hutch, Dodge, and I think Marshalltown out of Iowa. All 6 of those games are important. Okay, they're going to be battles. We're going to be tested. But if you look at the overall picture, and you made me talk about 3, going to Hutch, playing at Hutch. I don't think they've lost a game there in 3 years. Okay, I think they're ranked top 5 in the country. They've got one of the best programs anywhere in America. Okay, great program. So to go over there and play a road game with Hutch is going to be a tremendous challenge, and I'm really excited about going over there. Brown Mackey, when they come back here, obviously very good team. Again, familiarity. Just played them this week. So when they come back here, expect a battle. And then go to Marshalltown. We're going to go to Marshalltown, Iowa, a team that's probably going to be top 3 in that Iowa region. On their home floor, they're very good, and they've got some really good players. That's going to be a battle. So going up to Marshalltown is going to be tough. So we got a bunch of tough games before Christmas break. So we got a lot of work to do.
I know it's true. So let's look. You guys get through those games. You grow every game, get better. How do you handle that Christmas break, that kind of layover? Like, what if you guys go into that? Hypotheticals here. I know coaches hate hypotheticals.
Yeah.
You play one game at a time. Yeah. But you guys go into that. You guys are winning. You guys don't even lose a game. Mm-hmm. You have all that momentum. Yeah. How do you keep your team focused and concentrate over that long break? Get it ready for conference play after that.
Yeah, right. Well, in about 2 words, I'll tell you we don't. It's impossible. We're going to take generally 9 or 10 days off. There's just no way around it at this level. We don't have a game from December 13th to January 4th. And here's the thing, though. Everybody else is in the same boat. So it's not like we've got any kind of disadvantage or advantage. Everybody's got the same deal.
Yeah.
I think we probably – I don't remember the exact date, but I want to say we're off from about December 18th to maybe the 28th, I think about 9 or 10 days. But we give them a plan. We give them a workout. And our teams have been really good at going home and doing what they're supposed to do. We've had teams come back on the 28th of December looking like they're in just tremendous shape. And that's a testament to the maturity of the teams that we've had. And I don't think they want to go through 3 or 4 days of just brutal conditioning workouts when they
get back.
Try to get
back in shape.
But you're starting over. I mean, you're taking that kind of time off. When you come back, you've got to recalibrate and you got to get your timing back. And what we do is we play a scrimmage. I saved one of my scrimmages. You get 4 scrimmages total.
Okay.
And we don't use them all in the preseason. I saved one, and we play Ottawa University over there, just down the road there from Lawrence. Every year, right around December 31st, we play like an exhibition game against them. Just so we can get those, and it's always ugly. It's always so bad. We go over there, can't make a shot, can't make a free throw, can't make a layup, make mistakes, but it gets that out of our system.
Get back into game shape.
Gets that rust off, and it's usually a heck of a game. It's usually a real close game with Ottawa, so that's what we do. And then we come back and we open up in January, and here we go.
You're ready to roll.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last question before we get out of here. As a coaching staff, because I know you're big on building your program, your assistants, so on and so forth. As a head coach and as a coaching staff, when you have players and, junior college level, there's turnover, so on and so forth, how does preparation kind of change from game to game from you guys? Because like we said, you're getting people back. It's a long season. Just to let kind of everyone that's listening kind of, into the coaches, world a little bit. As far as preparing for a game, what is that like for you guys? Whether it's home game, road game, what does it take game day to get prepared and win these games? There has to be a method to the madness. Mm-hmm. There's a reason for this success.
Well, it's the same every game. We have film on every opponent, and I do most of the scouting. I'm still young enough to where I've got a lot of energy. I'm kind of hyper, and I still. That's probably one of my faults. Is I probably need to delegate a little bit more at times, but I still do probably 90% of our scouting, which means I watch. Okay, for example, Brown Mackey. I watch 2 different game tapes of Brown Mackey, and I sit there and I spend hours breaking it down. Okay, going through tendencies, all the stuff they're running in the half court, all the stuff they're running in their out of bounds plays, their side out of bounds plays, and then I come up with a scouting report that's got a plan of what we need to do to beat them. It's got detailed information about each player, and every game we do it the same way. And it's a 1-page scouting report. I'm never going to give the kids more than a page. I believe if you get 2-3 pages, they're not going to remember any of it. So I tell them I'm going to give you 1 page, but you better know every single thing on that 1 page. And so every game's the same as preparation-wise. Coach Jarris is actually doing the Heston Scout So he's doing the prep for the game Saturday because I just needed a little bit of a break as I had done, the other ones and gotten us ready for the other ones. But it's a lot of work. Every single game, people understand this. Every single game we prepare for probably represents 8 to 10 hours of film work to get our team a scouting report. And then the practices leading up to that game, all right, we're getting our kids ready. We've got a male practice player team. We've got guys that come in, will play against our girls, and they will run the other team's stuff. And we'll actually put numbers on them. We'll put numbers on them. We had a kid
for specific players.
For specific players, and so they'll guard them, guard their tendencies, guard the stuff they're running. So every game, I don't even think our players probably understand this, but every game represents a ton of hours in the film room watching these opponents, and then our kids watch a little film, 15, 20 minutes, and they practice for a couple hours, maybe once or twice, depending on one day before the game or 2 days before the game, and then they play. But what they don't understand is the time that they've spent getting ready is a fraction of what the coaches have spent.
Exactly.
Because somebody has to these people inside and out, and so the preparation for the games is really the same every game every year. I mean, I got kids that played for me 3 years ago here that could come back and watch our practice, watch our film session, look at our scouting report. Hey, nothing's changed. You guys still do it exactly the same way because it's been effective.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's something I know a lot of people don't kind of understand, the work that the coaches and the staff puts together and puts into the game plan. It's like people show up to the game on Saturday, you guys win by 30, and they're like, oh, yeah. So much work went into that that it's kind of crazy how much time.
Every single game.
And I love that idea. Like you have specific players on the team, and people come in and play specific players. Like you play their tendency. It's actually like your team's playing the real game for the second time at that point. They already played the first game. They already know everything. It's like the same type players. They come out, they play the game again. It's like playing every game twice.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Which is great. All right. Thanks for joining us today, Coach. Every Friday, 12 o'clock, ecavradio.com. Make sure you guys tune in. Once again, I'm your host, Kel Dansby. We're here with Coach Ben Conrad. I'd like to thank you for joining us. Hey, let's go get those wins.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. Thanks.
All right, man.